Buddy, happy Tuesday again. I think everybody, well, no, we've got James on here. We are in a snow craziness here. So, Alex, I'm happy to see you out and about. And those of you at the office, I haven't even left my house yet. So, good morning. I am going to do something a little bit different today because I had a huge aha. I was invited to speak with a national accountability group, which is kind of fun. They do role play and accountability on Friday. And the content I brought to them, they had so many ahas. And then I was like, gosh, this probably should be what this group needs as well, is a good refresher on this content. Okay, so today's going to be kind of a gut check. It is all going to be scripts. Okay, so what I'm going to talk you through is the 5 things you are most likely avoiding. Okay, the 5 things you're most likely avoiding, and the scripts to help you get over that. Okay, so there's a script to help you solve each one of these. Here's the other thing I want you to pay attention to as you go. You really to master and excel at closing, right? Closing your conversations, getting those appointments, being successful every time. You truly have to be good at all 5. Okay? So I want you to pay attention because some of you, as you're going through, you'll be like, oh, I nailed that one, right? And then you'll be like, ooh, I might be forgetting that one. Okay? So I want you to pay attention to these. And then the ones you're weak on, that's what you need to work on in the next 2 months. Okay? So let's dig into these. So the first one is asking for the close. How many of you walk out of appointment and you're like, that went great, but I'm not really sure what's next? And they're like, I didn't get the thing signed. And my first question is always, did you ask for the signature? Did you ask for the contract? Did you ask for the appointment at the open house? And it's like, ooh, nope. It's really normal that you don't. Okay. And you have to create that habit until you're used to asking for the appointment every single time. You got to figure out how to create that habit for yourself. Okay. So just asking for the appointment. Here's what your actions are if you're forgetting to ask for the appointment. So tell me if you relate to this. You're just sending info, right? Hoping they'll respond. You're following up with them, and you're waiting for the client to decide, right? If any of that is happening to you and you find yourself doing that, you're waiting on them to decide, well, whenever they're ready, right, you might be avoiding asking the closing question. Okay? So let's talk about what that looks like, okay? When you are not avoiding that question, you're saying, that's exactly why we should meet. Okay, let's set an appointment for Tuesday at 3:30 and get together. Talk through whatever's next. Okay. Your other closing one you have to practice. So number 1, that's exactly why we should meet, right? What you said there is exactly why it's worth it for you and I to sit down. Because, right, you're looking for something that might be hard to find. You're in a price point that might be challenging, whatever that is, okay? And find that reason and then go ahead and set that appointment. The other one, let's set a quick 30-minute appointment so I can show you blank. You've got to have that one ready to roll off your tongue. Let's set a quick 30-minute appointment. Let's grab coffee real quick, maybe 20, 30 minutes, and let's just talk through blah, 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 right? And then the final one I used that I really liked, and these are scattered all through your script book, okay? So you will see all of these everywhere, and that's how we're going to talk kind of through all of these. But the one that worked really well for me was, I'd love to do more of this. When could we grab coffee together, right? This has been so much fun. I've loved chatting with you about your needs, right?
Hey, Julie,
Let's try to do
sorry
this.
to interrupt. Can you
Oh,
repeat that again?
Yeah, you went
You
out.
went in and
oh,
out.
sorry, my thing fell out. My thing fell out. Yep.
Okay.
So where did I lose you?
Just whatever the third thing was.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. I've so enjoyed chatting with you today. I've so enjoyed chatting with you today, and that works you right towards your close. Why don't we do this? You want to meet up for coffee? I'd love to take this to in person, right? Let's do more of this. That always helped. Okay? So your job is to make sure you know where those closing questions are. You practice them so they're rolling off the top of your head. And the biggest, you're creating a habit so that you never forget to ask the closing question in every conversation, whatever
Hey,
that is.
Julie.
Yes.
So I get what you're saying, but what if it's
Okay.
two people, a couple?
Okay.
Are you asking them both for coffee? So you can talk for 30
I
minutes?
mean, yeah, it depends on what the situation is. But yeah, you want both of them there, both decision makers. So then you go into your kind of pre-qual thing, right? I'd love to grab
Right.
coffee, and it depends. If we're really just kind of chatting and I'm working on building a relationship for farther down the line, I think I can just get them into my database, It's more of that kind of meeting, not necessarily. If it's truly a meeting to get them to hire me and talk about what they're looking for, what I can do for them, yes, you want everybody there that's making all the decision makers.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Good question. What other questions? Keep hollering them out. Okay. So number one, asking the closing question. Number two, you don't qualify motivation. You don't qualify motivation. We'll dig into what that really goes into, but if you haven't qualified their motivation, you're likely just have them set up on a search and you're sending them listings, right? You're just keeping in touch with them. Again, they're in control. Okay. I did an entire webinar on motivation, so it's a good one to go back and watch the recording of. It should be on my YouTube. You can get to that through my website. But we talked about these three things, right? The motivation is they have to be ready, willing, and able. And you've got to have clarity on all those things, because 9 times out of 10, when they are not making a decision, when they are not taking the next step, it's because one of those three things are happening. They're not ready, either mentally, physically, emotionally. They're not willing to do what it takes to win in this market. They can. They're ready, they're able, but they're not willing to do it, right? That's a big one. And then able. Is everything in place that they're able to make a move like this? Okay. So here are some of the things. So I put some of these questions under the qualifying motivation. And this is why, because when you're lead generating, if they're not willing to meet with you, that automatically shows you where their motivation is, right? So that's the best way to gauge it. Are you willing to meet with me today and talk about hiring me or not? Okay, great. Then we need to talk about where you are in this process and now go into your motivation. Okay. So your scripts, are you ready to list your house with me when I come out? Or is this an appointment to discuss price and preparation? It's on your pre-qualification questions. It's right there. Are you ready to list your house with me and sign a contract? Are you ready to hire me when I'm out there on Tuesday? Or is this just a appointment to talk about price and preparation? Same thing on the buyer. Are you ready to hire me to help you with your purchase? Or is this an appointment to discuss goals and alignment? Is this just an appointment to talk about your goals and see how I might align with those to help you succeed in the market? And then, of course, all of your motivation questions, right? This is where your pre-qual questions have to be out in front of you. Okay, so if they are willing to set the appointment, that's your first thing. Okay, they do have some motivation. Now let's dig in and qualify. What has you thinking about moving? What happens if we're not successful? What's your plan B? Right? Get into the finances and all of those other things to get into the ready, willing, and able. Okay? Okay, this is a good one. Number 3, you're not confronting their hesitation. They're hesitant about something somewhere, And you're not necessarily just going there and asking what they're hesitant about and helping them through it. Okay, so hold on. Oh, sorry, I'm using my notes from the other one. Oh, okay. Here it is. You are accepting vague answers. You get off the phone and you're like, oh, yeah, I don't know much about them at all, right? And you keep following up forever. If you're doing some of those things, you have probably not attacked their hesitation. Okay, so let's talk about some of the scripts you can use. I'm sensing some hesitancy. What are you hesitant about? Right? Go right back to what are we avoiding? Just asking the question we want to know. Okay. Gosh,
Are
I'm
you,
sensing some hesitancy in your voice. Let's talk about that. What has you hesitant about this, James?
Julie, are you saying that, again, ask more open-ended questions? Because I've talked to some people and
Yeah.
they stuck to one word or maybe two word answers. And
Yeah.
it was like
Yes.
the
No.
commercial
Sure.
I've never seen before. You try to put them in a dental chair, trying to pull the answer out of them. I mean,
Yeah.
they just didn't want to talk at all. They were very defensive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that is 100% where I'd go. I'm sensing some resistance to having a good open conversation. Talk to me about that, right? Use the drop dead. Maybe so. I'm sensing some hesitation about having a good conversation here. Maybe have you hired another agent potentially? Are you a little nervous? I might ask you to sign something today. What has you hesitant about this? Okay. So just go there. Here's the biggest thing I said to that group. You guys have heard it a million times. They are not your client today. So you have nothing to lose. Okay? They're not your client today. So, worst case scenario, they're not your client tomorrow either. Big deal, right? So just go there, right? When James on the phone with them and they're being hesitant or one word answers, whatever, call them on it, right? Call them on it and just like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's talk about this, right? How can I help? All right, Megan, I'm opening the chat box. I saw you put something in there. Is the goal to go through all of these questions or just as many as it takes to get an appointment? Okay, awesome. Thank you, Megan, because I saw you hopped on just a tad late. So yes, that's good because others did also. So let me tell you what we're talking about today. We're talking about the 5 most common things you're avoiding that's making you not get results on your lead generation. Okay, why are you not setting the appointments? Why are you not converting the listings? Why are you not going on the buyer, right? So how do you get higher conversion when you're doing your lead generation? It's by not avoiding these 5 things. Okay, so the scripts are kind of everywhere. I'm just giving you the scripts in each section. Okay, so Megan's question was, do you ask all of these? No. Okay, so it's just what's appropriate for the thing you're handling at that time. And then your pre-qual questions are the ones you want to make sure you're asking all of them. Does that help? So in the script book, you have pre-qualifying questions. Ask all of those each time, and a lot of these are woven into those. Okay, so these scripts are all throughout your script book. Okay, cool. So when you are not addressing the hesitation, okay, what part are you unsure about? That's a great script to have when you're dealing with the hesitancy. Okay, if you're not comfortable, just go right there and say, I'm sensing some hesitancy. Tell me why, right? That's one. What part are you unsure about? Feels like you might still have questions or be unsure about something we're talking about. Tell me, what are you unsure about? What would need to happen for you to feel confident moving forward? That's a great one to address their hesitation. Okay, I'm sensing some hesitation. Let's talk about this. What would your ideal situation be? What would all have to happen to make you feel 100% confident that this is the right move, that we can move forward? Okay, and then here's another great one for this. It sounds like you're stuck. Is it because of timing, fear, money, or something else? Right? Like I always say, give them the options. Tell them you already know what they're avoiding, what they're hesitant about, right? So when you tell them these are common things people are hesitant about, they'll open up more likely to you. Okay, 4 kind of goes with 1. 1, ask for the close. 4, get the agreement signed. Okay, you have to ask for the agreement to be signed. So if you don't do that, tell me if you feel like you might be doing with some clients. It's gone well, and now you're just keeping in touch, trying to earn their business later. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, stop doing that. Earn it now and then follow up. Okay, so you just haven't asked the question. Are you ready to hire me as your realtor to help you through this process? Right? So just go there. Ask the question, ask for the commitment. Okay, even if you can't get a signature, don't get all tied up on when to sign the contract and what's that mean for all this and that and this and that. Go ahead and just ask, are you ready to work with me? Right? Are you ready to hire me as your agent? Okay. And oh, okay. So if you're not asking for the commitment, you are likely avoiding talking about money or commission, right? How many of you already know? I'd probably have this business if I just went there and had that conversation, right? So go there. Quit avoiding that. If the client isn't committed, neither is the outcome, right? So we're banking on an outcome from a client that wasn't even committed. And that happens so much. And then what happens is they disappoint you when it falls apart. When, if you just asked earlier for the commitment, you either wouldn't have worked for free, you would have done something different with them during that time, and then you won't be disappointed. Okay? So make sure you have it. You have to say to them, are you ready to hire me? They have to understand that when you're showing them houses, it's because they're deciding to hire you as their agent. They have to clearly understand why we're meeting. Okay? That is such a big one with me. When you go to for sale by owners, right? Make sure they understand you're going out there to list their house. Unless you have a buyer. If you truly have a buyer for it, right? But make sure they are 100% clear on exactly why you're meeting and exactly what you want out of that conversation. Okay? Or you erode trust. Okay? If we decide to work together, are you ready to commit to me as your agent and make sure I get paid? If we decide to work together, are you ready to commit to me as your agent and make sure I get paid? Okay? It's in your script book. You've got to have that one ready, ready, ready. Okay? I'm confident I can help you find the right home in this market and reach your goals. But the most important thing is, are you ready to work with me to help you do that? I know I can succeed. Now I've heard everything. I know I'm the right agent to help you do this. But the big question is, are you ready to hire me to help you do that? Okay. That was 4, and we're to our last one. Oh, hold on. I got a couple more. Critical questions. Okay, these are in your listing presentation in the script book. Do you really want to sell this house? Okay, so these are for your sellers, right? Go there. Do you want to price it where it will sell, or do you want it to sit on the market month after month after month?
Can you repeat that one real quick?
You got it. Do you want to price it to sell, or do you want it to sit on the market month after month after month? The other way you could say that, do you want to price it to sell, or are you okay with your house sitting on the market for 2, 3, 4 months like these others are that are priced where you want to go? Okay. And number 5. This one's a huge one. Again, this is not new news to those of you who have been scripting and coaching with me. Homework for you and them. Homework. You have to leave every conversation with them owing you something and you owing them something. Okay? What's that look like? Okay? So before whatever date, before we meet on Tuesday, before we talk next week, before I email you this information, before I set up your search, right? I'm going to do this and you do this and send it back to me. Okay, so let's get some examples. Okay, I'm going to send you 3 houses that I think might match your criteria. What I want you to do is take a pen to them and tell me and circle what you like and mark out everything you don't and send those back to me before we meet on Tuesday. That'll give me a good idea already of where we're starting. Okay? Before we meet on Tuesday, you are going to call the lender and get your pre-approval. You're going to send me a copy of it. And then I, will review it and make sure we don't have any questions. I will file it away so we can do it together should you decide to hire me, right? Don't get into advising them on their financing. You're not their agent yet, okay? So once it's done, send me an email. Let me know you've got your pre-approval in hand. In the meantime, I'm going to take what you said. I'm going to dig into this, and this, and I'm going to bring a good qualified list of things to our meeting on Tuesday. Okay? So when you create next steps for both of you, right, it subliminally attaches you to each other, right? You get them already kind of committing to you. Okay, you go do this, right? Drive through these 2 neighborhoods and tell me what you like about them and what you don't like about them, right? They can be simple things, right? But you always have stuff they can do and you always have stuff you can do, okay? And it shouldn't just be, and I'll keep in touch. If you find yourself saying that, that's not detailed homework enough. Okay, so not I'll keep in touch. I'll follow up with you next month and make sure you don't have any questions. Okay? All right. Okay, those are the 5. So, sorry, I was kind of redoing something that I thought was important. Now what I want to do, I want to summarize these. Okay? Because remember at the beginning I said in order to increase your conversions, to get closings, to get appointments, to get results every single time, you really have to be good at all 5 of these, okay? And I want you to evaluate what you're good at and what you're not, okay? So number 1, closing questions. On a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being I'm awesome at that, I do it every single time, 1 being, ooh. Okay, love it, love it. Write them down. Closing questions. Qualifying motivation. Ready, willing, and able. Getting super clear on ready, willing, and able. And then making sure your actions reflect that. One to 5, where are you? Confronting hesitation. When people are stalled, just being there to what's holding them up. Uh-oh, sorry, I missed that one. You have me back? Okay, so confronting hesitation, making sure you're just going there if you're stalled with someone and just asking them, right? What are you hesitant about? What's holding you up right now? Getting agreement signed, getting the signature, getting a clear commitment, right? So not just the signature, but the commitment. Are you getting the commitment from these people to work with them, to be their agent? 1 to 5. And then setting homework for you and them. Setting homework for you and them. All right, tell me or write in the chat box what some of your weaker ones are. You can say them out too.
Asking for
Oh.
the commitment.
Okay. And Anna, why do you think that one's a tough one?
Because I assume way too much.
Oh, that's huge. How many of us are assuming things instead of just, yeah, Randy says same, Anna. Yep, we assume it's all good. We assume they're not talking to anybody else. We assume they're fine, right? Good. That's really, really, really good. Yep. Okay, confronting hesitation. We're all really good at that. And good at avoiding it is what I'm saying. We're all really good at avoiding, right? Confronting their hesitation. And the more comfortable you get with it, the easier it is. And just remember, that's one where most likely you're afraid to confront the hesitation because you don't want to potentially lose their business, right? You don't have it today. You're not going to have it tomorrow, potentially. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario is you are, because you just go there and then you're going to lead them, right? Everyone's hiring you to lead them through this. So that's what that's going to do too. Let me be your leader. Let's talk through how I can help you whenever you're hesitant through this process. All right. And closing questions and asking for signed contracts. Yep. That's huge. And you guys know I've said it, the Post-its. Okay, that is one I had to have everywhere. Ask for the close, ask for the close, ask for the close, ask for the close. So I had chapters in my life where the one note of Post-its was everywhere, right? So it was contacts at one point until my contacts were a habit. It was ask questions at one point until asking questions was a habit. Then it was ask the closing question. Did you close? Did you close? Right? So in my car, there were 3 Post-its every time I got in the car that was like, did I close? Okay, I did or I didn't, right? And they don't come down until you find yourself doing them every single time. Okay, so that can help you build that habit for sure, Rachel, around the closing questions and getting the signatures. Okay, Brandy, awesome. I'm glad. I hope this was valuable for you guys. It was funny as I was going through it, I was like, yeah, this has to be a Tuesday morning call because I have to imagine this stuff is helpful for you, especially as you're starting to build your businesses up for the year, right? Everybody, we want to get higher conversions. That's what this call is set for, so that not only are you doing your lead gen, but you're actually getting results from it. Okay. All right. You guys are awesome. I'm going to let you go 2 minutes early because I know you all need it this morning. Thank you. Thank you. I'll put this recording up if you need these scripts. Later, you can find it. You're welcome. Bye, everybody. Have an awesome week.